Everybody, here we are at Mannheim at Guitar Summit. Now, one of the success stories for Andertons of 2025 has been taking on the Furch guitar brand. And I've not met Peter before. Peter Furch is the founder of Furch Guitars. I got tipped off at the beginning of 2025 that your brand was the fastest growing acoustic brand in some of the bigger US retailers.
Yes.
So anyway, I made contact and we saw some guitars and we showed them to our team in the store. Everyone was blown away by just the quality. And it's now the fastest growing guitar brand in Andertons as well. So congratulations.
Okay. Great to hear.
And there's a couple of things that Peter wanted to show me today. One is the way in which you designed the way of having the neck fitted to the body.
Sure.
And this solves that age-old problem of all the sort of the humps and stuff that you would get on a traditional one.
Yes.
And the other cool news is Ben Smith, the guy you'll know from our acoustic videos, is also in Mannheim, and there are some new Furch guitars being released today. And so Ben's going to play those, so stay tuned to the video and we'll see. But Peter, it's lovely to meet you.
Likewise.
I'd like to get you on the show maybe in the future so we can talk a bit longer about how you started building acoustic guitars and how you built the company up. But let's just focus on the this active CNR system and perhaps try and explain what this does.
I will. The thing is that very typical problem and a very big concern of you as a guitar player when you are buying the guitar. One of the top concerns would be playability, right? That's of course you have the sound, you need some acoustic performance, acoustic qualities, but the playability would be very, let's say, high on this level of priorities. And then comes the problem. Acoustic guitar, it's being made with made of wood. It's always changing with like a different humidity, low humidity, high humidity. It's changing all the time. You probably have the experience. Winter time, your string action goes down and it's starts to buzz a bit and so on, and the other way around on the summertime. So I was trying to kind of like solve that, but without compromising the sound of the guitar. Because with compromising the sound of the guitar, I would take approach that let's just put a really strong bracing on the top.
Yeah.
But that kills the sound. You probably can imagine. I said, okay, this is not the way. Let's make the joint sort of like a flexible, sort of like a, let's say, adaptable to the overall humidity situation. So what we did, we were using this like a really solid structure which you see over here, which we have in our guitars maybe since 2016. We call it CNR, and it stands for composite neck reinforcement. So we have like a carbon pipe which is basically fitted with a standard two-way truss rod. Very solid system. I speak about it in other videos of mine. But the thing is, we use this like as a sort of like a foundation, and then we adding this area over here. We have this like a this bolt over here, this piece of wood, which is basically expanding or shrinking with the basically environmental humidity. So basically we have a high humidity. This expands and basically pushes the neck a little bit inside of the guitar, I would say. So when you
I assumed this was for manual adjustment, but you're saying the wood is expanding and contracting with the natural humidity in the air and compensating. That's a clever idea.
That's why we call it active, because it's basically changing. Your guitar is changing all the time, but in order to basically preserve its playability, you know. So this is expanding in a high humidity, your top goes up with high humidity, and this is like leaning a little bit backwards, so the string action stays pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And other way around, you know, you have like a low humidity, this is shrinking, your top is going down, and that's going
So is it important that you make this piece of wood out of the same piece of wood that the top is made of, so that they sort of expand and contract similarly?
If you would want to be very, very precise, then yes. But we found out in a testing that it needs to be pretty similar wood. This is actually Sitka spruce. We are using for cedar tops and a spruce tops as well. And just by length, we are somehow like modifying basically how much of the deformation or expansion or shrinkage is happening. So that's how we can control it. So we did find that we don't need to necessarily use different material. We of course have to basically cut the material certain way, certain direction, so it works, because wood expands or shrinks in a different, with various direction towards the grain. It expands differently. There are some expansion factors can be 0.2 millimeters, but from the other way around it can be 0.02%, but it can be 2% from the other way around, or 5% from the other way around. So that's what we are using over here. And we started to do this innovation last year. We call it CNR Active, Composite Neck Reinforcement Active with active function. And you can basically find it on all our guitars, all guitars which have heel. And
I think what a brilliantly, I always think sometimes the simplest kind of Mother Nature ideas are better than, so yeah, just basically allowing the heel joint to expand and contract as the top does. What a genius idea. And it's nice to see it, a cross section like this, so you can really see what's working. What was the tool? You started to open this at the beginning, and they look like a super cool tool in here. That was like, so what's this?
This is the tool for setting up your string action, because
it's so much easier than an Allen key. The number of times I've kind of put it like a mark on my guitar because I'm trying to get the Allen key in.
Well, you can still do this, and for a neck relief setup, basically neck relief. By neck relief, you mean this, right? You still have the control over this. You still have the truss rod inside, which you can access with this Allen key over here. Let me just You can still do it over here, but of course you have control, or you are basically controlling the neck relief, and that's not really the string action. So good thing about this CNR active system is that, well, you have this active function, how I just described it, it's just doing its own thing. But then you realize one morning you wake up and you say, I want my guitar to be, let's say, about like maybe 2 millimeters slower, or 2.5 millimeters like a string action, or other way around. I want to change a different tune. I want to or different style of play.
Different thickness strings on them as well, maybe.
This also could work, but different playing style. Maybe I want to push the guitar a little harder, so I need higher string action, so it doesn't bust. And you can do this very quickly, just by turning this screw over here.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to check how, and we really didn't test this before. I want to see if you can, just following my guidance, make a string action setup on this guitar.
Okay, let's do this.
We'll
see. If I take this is one of the new guitars we're going to see with Ben in a minute. So if I wanted, let's say I want a slightly lower action than that. It's pretty low at the moment, but I might have it a tiny bit lower.
Okay. So, just to put it fast and simple, this is the tool. You have to put this bolt into this screw inside.
I can see that one. I can see that one there.
Just fit it there. That's the main job right now.
I'm in, she said.
Okay. And so now the turn, in order to lower the string action, you do a little bit like a clockwise turn. Maybe
that way.
Yes, that way. It would be probably like you can try half a turn, not like this, like this.
Oh! Yeah.
Yeah, I would leave it like this because half a turn means basically you are shortening the length by 0.5 millimeters, and that's already quite a lot. The neck angle will be changed a little bit.
I wasn't turning it that much. It's quite stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Because
just...
there is a load of the strings, which is quite big. But then, like that, you can have very quickly lower string action or higher string action, as you wish, actually.
I'm pretty sure you won't see this, but that has worked. that has absolutely dropped the string height by maybe half a millimeter or a millimeter or something, which is...
The range is pretty big because, of course, there are different playing styles and different needs of musicians. So.
And do you buy these sets, or do these come with the guitars?
You buy this.
You buy this separately.
Extra,
That's a really clever idea. We haven't really. I'm pretty sure we've done some Furch videos on, or Ben has done them, and he will have talked about your Czech manufacturing.
Yes.
So this isn't an Asian made guitar, or perhaps, and it's not an American made guitar. So I think where it's been so well received in Andertons is it kind of sits in that really lovely price where people are perhaps looking at an American instrument, a D20 or something like that, and it's wildly beyond what they can afford. And then they look at an Asian alternative and it's nice, but maybe they want just something a teeny little bit better. And this brings all the quality of the American instrument, plus with some really innovative ideas for not that much more than what an Asian instrument might cost. So they've been crazy popular. But tell me, what is this new range? Because this is being announced today, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
So tell me what this new range is, and you're going to see some super cool colors in a second. We call it Spectra Plus, and it's basically first range which we developed specifically for basically some let's say colored tops, and later we planning to expand the range, so we will color whole bodies, and so there will be much more options in a Spectra range. But it's all about like expressing yourself also visually with colors which we design and test and pick for the guitar. So that's what you see over here. And they're all going to be in this sort of grand auditorium shape? You can. No? Yeah, we have grand auditorium and OM shapes available, and the colors we have right now. We picked 8 colors for the range, so you can choose from those. And 2 material options. You have you always have like an Engelmann spruce top. Yeah. And you have a choice of like a Indian rosewood, which is over here, and you have African mahogany back and sides as well. Amazing. All right. Well, look, we're going to go and play these now. But Peter, thank you so much. Thank you. Please come to Guildford. I'd love to talk more because again, you're younger than I thought you would be. So to have kind of designed a guitar, set up a factory and got it going like Furch is, it's an impressive achievement. I think I'd love to hear the story sometime. Yeah, I would like to tell you the story. And you mentioned one thing that we are sitting at an interesting price point as well, and I think the price is very important. So one way how we achieve that actually goal is that, and I'm really I would be really happy if you come over here, over to Czech Republic and see the factory, or send somebody from your team, because I think we are achieving this like a quality and price ratio, but by I would say very cleverly combining like a production methods, like really like a handcrafting, but also with like a latest technology, robotics, and so on. It's very interesting to see how it works together, and the result, it's thanks to this kind of like a special setup. It's quite unique to see, I guess. I look forward to that. But anyway, for now, let's go and hear what they sound like. So that is the Grand Auditorium, which I gather you can buy in either this rather lovely African mahogany back and sides or the Indian rosewood, which Ben is holding. And you'll also see as well, these are the two different sizes. So Ben's got the bigger of the two.
The Grand Auditorium, is it?
Yeah, and then this OM that I'm holding. The whole Furch range starts with like, you price it as a basic acoustic first.
Yeah.
And then you add your options on in terms of preamps and pickups and stuff. So everything that's on display here today is just a straight acoustic.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're an electroacoustic player, you add on whatever you need at the point you want to buy it. But what's your first impression of the Grand Auditorium one?
I mean, it's a big sounding guitar, very responsive. Like it's got a lot of low end to it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of got some nice bite in the top end too. This is obviously not necessarily the ideal environment to test it, but it's it's a really nice guitar to play, and the action's great.
Yeah.
Like the playability in all of these is wonderful. So
I must admit, I'm a huge fan of. I think Europe, particularly perhaps Eastern Europe, has got a lot to offer in terms of they've got some amazing construction, factories, cutting edge kind of technology. The labor out there is still competitive.
Yeah.
I think if you've not tried a Furch guitar, you really should try and find a dealer, because they do a whole range, right from that little, is it called the Little Jane?
The folding one?
Yeah. Honestly, man, that blew us away, didn't we, when we saw that video? Literally a travel guitar that folds in half and is immediately in tune when you fold it out.
That was the thing, I think.
Right up to some really beautiful kind of vintage-inspired guitars.
Yeah.
But look,
there's a really lovely Koa.
Is there?
Over there that I've got my eye on, but yeah.
I think the coloured tops is going to probably polarize some people's perceptions. It's interesting. Obviously, the rest of the Furch range has a much more traditional look to it, and this Spectra series is obviously designed to appeal to a player that wants a purple guitar or a red guitar.
They're very eye-catching.
I think they've done the burst nicely.
The finish on them is really lovely. Like the paint job is, whether you like the colour or not, the fade on the burst is really good on all of them.
Let's have a little look at the OM. I'll swap you. I'll put the mic back on. This is our high-tech mic placement.
Rest it on my knee. It's lovely. It hasn't got quite as much low end, like very low end, but it's very focused in the low end that it has got. Like it's really,
like you say, not the most scientific environment to try this in.
No,
I've just had the pricing confirmed from the Furch guy, and it's like, I think we're going to see these starting from, if you opt to have no electronics in them, about £1,300.
Really?
Which is just nuts.
That is.
You can so see why this brand has taken off like it has.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, look, thank you, Mr. Ben. Thank you. I perhaps I will bump into you again at some point in the show, and we shall play some more. If not, I will definitely see you in the bar later.
I will see you there.
All right. Thank you.